Good morning. I'm doing my part today to keep green. I don't drive to work anymore. I walk to work because it's important that we protect our planet. I live 22 houses away from my office, so even though it's a little chilly this morning, there's no need for me to drive to work. So I'm gonna walk. And because I'm walking, I'm gonna give you another video. So here we go, and this is the way that it is. I yesterday read an article or an op-ed in the Daily News from New York by Strasi. And she said, and I find it atrocious, I find it horrible. She said that one of the victims, Thenosis, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, that he was a bigot too. And because he was a bigot, he was not an innocent. And that there were only 13 innocent people. And in fact, she pretty much blamed the rampage of Farooq and his wife on this Hebrew roots Messianic believer. Because he made posts on Facebook about how gun rights are important and how Islam is evil. And she made a point to make out his religion because he is a born again, as Linda said, he is a born again Christian Messianic Jew. Okay, well, he's Hebrew roots. He is part of the house of Israel. Whether he accepted it or he was born that way doesn't matter. He's one of us. He's a brother. He is somebody who has dedicated his life to following Torah. Although he does seem, and some of his posts seem kind of crude, but hey, have you seen my Facebook? My Facebook is pretty cruel too. But I've not done anything that would warrant or to justify somebody taking an assault weapon with a large capacity magazine and shoot me and 13 of my friends. Now, this is America where we have the freedom of speech. We have the freedom to say what we want to say and how we feel like saying it. Yes, our Hebrew roots brother was a little crass, but that's not an excuse to kill him. And Linda Strasi, although she said, I don't want to give the Farooqs any additional fame by mentioning their names, she blasted this man for his beliefs because he's a Messianic Torah observant believer. And I think that it's strange. You know, granted, he did link her with the likes of Ann Coulter and Pam Geller and, you know, real evil bigots. Yep, I almost got run over by a truck. Okay, so we're sitting there and, you know, we're believers, and this week is Hanukkah, and I really like Hanukkah. It's an absolutely amazing holiday. It's about celebrating the light. Okay, and this light is the light. You know, I was listening to a song today from Aish.com, and in this song, it says, you can take my rights, you can take my life, but you can't take my light. Because this light that we celebrate during Hanukkah is the light that God created on the first day. On the first day, in the beginning, in the very beginning, God said, let there be light. And there was light. And God saw that the light was good. And he separated the light from the dark. Evening and morning, the first day. This light is the light of the world, the first thing created by God. And this is what we celebrate on Hanukkah. The light. You know, the Maccabees say it's all about the niece. But it's not about the niece, it's about the light. It's about the light that was provided. It's about the light that's supposed to shine in the temple 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We have a belief. We have a faith here within the Hebrew roots. We have a brotherhood, a sisterhood, a familyhood. But we don't need to be eating each other for dinner. We don't need to be mean. We don't need to be evil with each other. And I've noticed it with the debate in the last couple days over whether or not the Hebrew Roots movement should be keeping Hanukkah because it's a man-made feast. John 10, verse 22 tells us that Yeshua kept the feast of Hanukkah. And he kept the feast of Hanukkah. Therefore, it's good enough for me to keep. You know, we are supposed to emulate the Messiah. We're supposed to walk the way that he walked and do the things that he did. And one of the things that he did was go to the temple on Hanukkah and teach. Yeah, he didn't condemn the feast. He didn't condemn the holiday. So just because it's not listed in Leviticus 23 doesn't mean it's not a holiday that we can't keep. Hanukkah is an important time because we dedicate our temple. Because don't you know, you are the temple. We dedicate the temple to obedience to Torah. We dedicate our lives to the obedience to Torah. We dedicate our lives to following the light, keeping the light, maintaining the light, because it's all about the light. Those people who are trying to attack the Hebrew Roots movement, I think they just don't know what they're talking about or what they're doing. They find that this guy is part of a set apart people. We're different from everybody else. But, and her pointing out that he was a member of the Hebrew Roots community, I found was extremely antagonistic, almost to the point to where I'd call it anti-Semitic. But we need to, as the Hebrew Roots people, as Israel, we need to make a point to ensure that we are set apart, that we don't bash people for their faith. We don't attack people for what they believe if they believe different than we are. We are who we are, and we need to remain who we are without bigotry, without hatred, and without attacking and destroying people because we disagree. You know, disagreeing is acceptable, but, you know, you can't bash them or hurt them or assault them or attack them, even in words. You can't do this because this is something that we just don't do. We are observers of Torah, and Lashon Hara is just as evil as murder itself. So, for those of you who are not a member of the Hebrew Roots community, we're not bigots. We're not evil, and we're not haters. And killing us is wrong. You cannot say that we're not innocent when we're murdered by a terrorist because we believe differently and we voice our opinions. We take our rights seriously. One of those rights is the freedom of speech and freedom of religion. The second right that's important to us is the freedom to keep and bear arms in order to maintain a militia. The rights and privileges of everybody to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. So we sit here and we're not bigots. We believe in our rights. We're not hateful. We believe in our faith. For those of you who are watching who are part of the faith, part of the brotherhood, part of the Hebrew Roots movement, you gotta remember, not everybody believes like we do. And attacking people because of their disbelief is just as wrong as those that attack us because of our belief.